Speaker should you said the speaker should
Passing the garland around. This will come. There'll be lots of flower petals all over the floor in a few minutes. Srila Prabhupada had deferred the lessons in dying in favor of giving his disciples an unparalleled opportunity to serve him in pure and simple love. And he allowed this not only for a few, but for whoever came to Vrindavan. Many came, and all were allowed to enter Prabhupada's room, massage his body and sit with him as long as they liked, day and night, chanting the holy name for his pleasure. Srila Prabhupada also recommenced his translating, and this was done openly. In other words, everyone was in the room. This was not usually the case. Usually Prabhupada on his own would be translating, but in the last days, everyone could sit there listening to Prabhupada translate if they could hear. Microphone. And also could go into his room. It was one thing which was, Prabhupada said that he wanted all of his disciples to come and be with him. Of course, that message was not translated to the world, by the way. But Prabhupada said that he wanted all the devotees to come. Not everyone could come, obviously. Many came, but many didn't. Whereas previously he'd always worked in solitude, he was giving himself completely and declaring it also, telling the devotees present, "Never leave me, and I cannot live without your company." They had asked him to stay, and he had agreed, consigning himself completely to their care. Those who were blessed to have this service felt themselves passing over all barriers of reluctance to serve, as well as all barriers of mature desire. By intimately serving Srila Prabhupada, they felt the strength of complete surrender and sensed that this would sustain them always, even when Srila Prabhupada eventually did depart from the world. Prabhupada also continued speaking, as he had in recent months, about being unafraid of death and being fixed in transcendental knowledge. When receiving a presentation of some of his books recently printed in Portuguese by Vidayananda Goswami, Prabhupada encouraged him and said, "This is life. The material world is just bones. The bones are not our real life. Our real concern is the living force. The bones may remain or go, it doesn't matter. The real life is sustaining the bones. There is even a history that there was a rishi who had only bones, so there is a science by which you can sustain life by only bones. Hiranyakashipu did it. You are also doing it," Srila Prabhupada Krishna said. The last little few lines. "So take care of the bones as long as possible," said Prabhupada. "But the real life is here. Always remember that. The material world means we are simply all protecting bones and flesh together, but they have no knowledge of what they are." Hare Krishna. Okay, where's the MC?
Hare Krishna.
I have to give the garland back again.
Yes, the garland.
Maybe there's another garland somewhere.
There's no specific order. Anyone wants to say something?
I can.
No? Yeah. Just a second, probably?
Make it just.
I can take them off. I wrote something, but before I read it, I was just thinking again about Srila Prabhupada's presence and what it means. And I think this devotee, Ratikali, is this still her name? Shamshan? This Ratikali, that's still her name? Revati, thank you. She said about, devotees, and devotees means also loving reciprocations between devotees. After all, Prabhupada, told us that our aim, our goal is to develop a relationship, right, with Krishna. So relationship with devotees is also extremely important. And important also is the relationship with the spiritual master. In terms of loving relationship, not simply just, like you mentioned, Maharaj, Mayavad relationship type, nobody cares. And it reminded me of maybe you'll read it there, but it reminded me of the last days of Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan. I don't remember, I think this story was told by, I read it from Giriraj Swami, that brother, but Prabhupada had stopped eating at that time, and he had heard about Lokanath Swami going around and doing his traveling with bullock cart and so on and so forth. And he somehow, Prabhupada became enthusiastic about going on a bullock cart whilst his condition was extremely difficult. As I said, he stopped eating. I can't remember if he had stopped drinking also, but there's another story about his stopping to drink. Anyway, so he called his secretary and he said, I want to visit all the tirthas in Vrindavan in a bullock cart with Lokanath Swami's, arrangements and everything. And the devotees were kind of shocked because Prabhupada was so ill. And then arose after this some discussion between the senior devotees there and some of the GBCs who were there also. And everybody did not agree about this. And there was some kind of so-called controversy that happened. And this is what it is. As we are disciples, we are to follow, our guru's orders and our guru's instructions. So some devotees said, Prabhupada wants that he goes on the bullock cart and visit the tirthas in Vrindavan, so we must do it. And we must arrange it. Et l'autre clan, the other clan, was saying, no, Srila Prabhupada, not directly to Prabhupada, but no, Prabhupada is way too ill. He'll suffer, and he can even leave his body because the roads are so bumpy. The roads in Vrindavan, them. That, it's impossible for him. And some of the devotees went to consult his doctor, his Kavichan, of course, and he said the same thing. He says, my advice. And he came to Prabhupada, he says, don't do this, Prabhupada, because you'll get very, you won't make it, basically. And I think there was another, well, you may know, I think it was Akinchana Das Babaji.
Yeah, Akinchana Krishna Das Babaji.
Right, he was there, and also the devotees went to ask him, what shall I do? And he said, no, you shouldn't bring Prabhupada. So there was you can feel this in your heart. Your spiritual master is asking you something, and all of a sudden you say, well, I should do everything in my power to satisfy the instruction of my spiritual master, and then somehow in your heart also you say, well, but that's not a good idea. So maybe I should not follow this instruction. Wow. You're caught up in a spiritual dilemma. Should I follow my spiritual master's instructions blindly, or should I propose to him something different? So I was just thinking, about our presence with Srila Prabhupada. This is how we actually have some loving sentiments, but real affection or real reciprocation. The sweetest thing about this, for me at least, the sweetest thing about this, let's call it a pastime, is that, so Prabhupada called his senior disciples and others, and he said, so what have you decided? Prabhupada, your guru is saying, what have you decided? Wow. Well, Prabhupada, we think that it's not a good idea after all. And by the way, some of you know, maybe here, still to this day, plusieurs décennies après le départ de Prabhupada, this is still somehow a little bit of a controversy. It's a spiritual controversy. Let's not call it a political controversy, obviously. Anyway, so Prabhupada asked, what shall I do? And you know what he said. He said, well, okay, I'll do whatever you want. And the devotees were so relieved. And Prabhupada turned to Babaji and he said, this is how they love me. This is how they actually show their love to me. And this is the sweetest thing, is that, yes, we need to follow the instruction of the spiritual master. But in our developing eternal sentiments for our spiritual master, who is helping us and who is training us to develop our eternal sentiments for Krishna and Radharani. And this is exactly what it is, loving relationship with our spiritual master. And this can happen, you all have some spiritual master, dikshas and siksha gurus, but the heartfelt, loving relationship is what will train us and guide us towards the ultimate path, which is rediscovering our relationship with Krishna. And it's so sweet that what Prabhupada said, this is how they love me, this is how they reciprocate with me. Well, should I still read my...
Yes,
sir. Okay?
Yes.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisances. Glories unto you. Om Ganti Manandasya Gananjana Shalaka Chaksurunmiri Tam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I offer my obeisance to you, Srila Prabhupada, since it is you who have opened my eyes with the torchlight of the real knowledge of our eternal relationship with Krishna. Had it not been from you, I would have never learned about our Nitya Dharma, our Krishna, and the supreme spiritual world. As Maharaj said this morning, it is somehow a sorrowful or regretful day when we celebrate every year your disappearance from this world, or the day, shall we say also, the day when you went back home, back to Godhead, feeling your separation with emotion and sadness. But it is a day that I hanker to remember all your beautiful, inspiring pastimes which occurred during your presence on this planet, as well as those nectarine instructions and lion-like preaching mood of yours. But let us rejoice and feel happy, and particularly very proud that you, Srila Prabhupada, our eternal spiritual master, went to your eternal Dham, or residence in the company of our beloved Lord of the Gopas and the Gopis, and his other dear associates. Or alternatively, your appearance elsewhere must have given great bliss and mercy to those who received you. As we continuously take the benefit of hearing empowering stories and realizations from some of your disciples who have had close association with you, we literally can feel your presence in separation. Actually, Prabhupada, you never really left us. You've handed over to us the most important, your instructions. That is what you said. I will always remain present through my instructions and my books. You said once on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's disappearance day, on the absolute platform, there is no difference between the appearance and the disappearance of the spiritual master. Both are beautiful, just like the sunrise and the sunset. So although we feel separation, within that separation our remembrance of you is enhanced, and thus we experience the beauty of your presence in separation. Following your back to Godhead famous formula, Where there is Godhead, there is no nescience. I truly realize that this is easily applicable to you. By following your instructions, we feel closer to the Lord, just like when we feel the sunshine, we know that the sun is present. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, to have given so much and brought the greatest treasury to the world, just as Lord Chaitanya did more than 500 years ago. I have an eternal but very blissful and joyful debt to you, although I consider this debt repayment impossible. It still creates further opportunities for me to think of you, of what you've undergone, how much austerities you had to go through before and during the foundation of ISKCON until you left us. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 8th canto, this is, I think, this is a word from Parvati to Shiva when Shiva agreed to drink the poison after the turning, of course. It is said that great personalities almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of people in general. I repeat, it is said that great personalities almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of people in general. Wow. This is considered the highest method of worshipping the Supreme Lord, who is present in everyone's heart. And in that purport, you describe that there are different kinds of welfare activities, but the supreme welfare activities is the spreading of Krishna consciousness. That which you have so relentlessly executed for all our and for particularly for my benefit. Dear Srila Prabhupada, please help me to remove all unwelcome anarthas from my heart so that I can still be useful in your service, and help me to continue follow in the mood of yours, which is your intense desire to save humanity from the darkest wells of ignorance. Begging to remain forever in your service, your disciple Sikshastakam. Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Sister Kampa.
Oh, read a little bit more. Do any more Prabhupada disciples in the room?
Peter was here.
Pardon?
Peter Ras is just in my...
Peter Ras.
Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada.
Where have you been? Where have you been?
I don't have a car. I was in America.
You walked.
I come back a few days ago and I borrowed a car. So I have a car.
You have a car now?
Yes.
Okay.
Temporarily. My car is far away from here. Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada.
We just read a bit, then MC will sort things. So we just heard how Srila Prabhupada can help with the microphone. Elderly body actually low responsibility. And when a Trayarishi visited Srila Prabhupada, asked whether Prabhupada could again visit Tehran. Remember, Prabhupada is basically in his last days here. So he's asking Prabhupada, could you please come to Tehran again? Prabhupada said that he was not ready to go, but now you have to take a bundle of bones. Excuse me, I'll read again. Prabhupada said that he was ready to go, but now you have to take a bundle of bones. These were, of course, the same themes that Prabhupada had always taught. The same themes that were in his books. But the lessons were more poignant and striking when Prabhupada applied them to his own situation. More than one devotee compared Prabhupada to Bhishma Dev, who gave important instructions in his last days. As Bhishma felt no pain and delivered learned and loving discourses even from his bed of arrows, and as Bhishma determined by his own will the time of his departure from the world, so Srila Prabhupada spent his last days oblivious to his physical condition, defying death and instructing his spiritually innocent sons. For Prabhupada's sons could no longer stand by, and simply hear the philosophical lessons. Prabhupada accepted their affection when they had cried for him to stay with them, and now they wanted to express that affection in the only world they understood, a world with Srila Prabhupada living and talking with them, laughing or reprimanding them as he liked. They wanted him to eat and drink and become physically strong again. But again Srila Prabhupada seemed to change, and he began refusing food and drink. He had postponed his passing away to exchange lovingly with his disciples, and yet at the same time, by refusing to eat and drink, he was showing his preference for passing away. He admitted, when pressed, that it was an impossible course of action to live without food or drink. Nor did he expect or want miracles. If he was to get better, it would be by taking nourishment. But for reasons of his own, he would not eat. He said recovery was material, and he didn't want it. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Il y a quelques jours, on avait un festival ici, et Radhacharan, qui est un dévot qui est en Chine maintenant, il m'a rappelé quelque chose. Ça va mieux comme ça? Il m'a dit qu'il se souvient, il était un nouveau dévot et il était venu au programme du matin, et à 7h du matin, lorsque je suis venu pour la classe, j'ai annoncé que Srila Prabhupada venait de quitter la planète. C'était il y a 48 ans, comme ça, 77. C'était comme un choc. On n'était pas du tout au courant de la condition physique de Srila Prabhupada, et c'était tombé comme une bombe. J'avais reçu un téléphone le matin, Vishwambar Maharaj était à Paris, et j'étais le vice-président, et j'avais dû annoncer cette nouvelle. C'était comme une bombe qui tombait. C'était comme la fin du monde. Qu'est-ce qu'on va devenir? 50 ans après, la nouvelle Mayapur est toujours là, grâce à Srila Prabhupada. Quelquefois, des personnes disent « Oh, j'aurais bien aimé être un disciple de Srila Prabhupada. Oh. » En fait, lorsque Krishna est venu, il y a 5000 ans, des personnes comme Indra et Brahma n'ont pas réalisé que Krishna était Dieu, la personne suprême. En fait, quand Krishna est venu, peut-être maximum 200 personnes étaient au courant qu'il était Dieu, la personne suprême. Dieu, la personne, 200 personnes à peine. Les 5 Pandavas, peut-être la reine Kunti, des gopis, Arjuna bien sûr. Mais la même chose, Srila Prabhupada est venu. Combien de personnes ont pris conscience de sa grande personnalité? Shri Krishna a parlé de la Bhagavad Gita, il y a 3 personnes qui ont entendu la Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, Sanjaya et Dhritarashtra. Arjuna, bien sûr, Sarvadharman Parityajya, il s'est abandonné à Krishna. Sanjaya, qui était l'intermédiaire transparent, Il n'a rien transformé, il a répété exactement ce qu'il a entendu de Krishna. Et Dhritarashtra, lui, à la fin de la Bhagavad Gita, oh, cette personne est vraiment envieuse, il est en train de manipuler Arjuna pour reprendre la terre à mes fils. Donc différentes attitudes. Et la même chose avec Srila Prabhupada. Différentes personnes ont rencontré Srila Prabhupada. Certaines sont devenues dévots. D'autres n'ont pas reconnu la position exaltée, extraordinaire, surnaturelle de Srila Prabhupada. D'autres l'ont pris comme un homme du commun. Mais Srila Prabhupada, toujours est resté transcendantal. Srila Prabhupada dit on ne devrait pas accepter une religion ou des principes religieux sans avoir des résultats. Sinon, c'est la superstition. Beaucoup de gens suivent des principes religieux et le résultat du dévot, c'est qu'on peut voir qu'en quelques semaines, Paramdrisva Nivartante, le dévot goûte un goût supérieur et il abandonne automatiquement toutes sortes de mauvaises habitudes. Maintenant, certaines personnes ont besoin de quelque chose un peu spécial, un peu mystique pour accepter Srila Prabhupada. Alors, je vais vous raconter une anecdote, ou plusieurs anecdotes, si vous voulez bien, en relation avec Srila Prabhupada. Il y a un dévot aux États-Unis, Padma voulait avoir les chaussures de Srila Prabhupada pour pouvoir se mettre sur son autel. Il a surveillé, il a regardé comment étaient les chaussures de Prabhupada, il a acheté exactement les mêmes. Et il a échangé les chaussures. Et il a pris les chaussures de Prabhupada qui sont au temple actuellement ces chaussures à Prabhupada Village, où il y a les archives à ISKCON, dans Caroline du Nord. Donc Srila Prabhupada a éventuellement mis les chaussures, il s'est promené, il a donné une classe. Et à la fin de la classe, il a dit And one should not steal the shoes of your spiritual master. Et on ne devrait pas voler les chaussures de son maître spirituel. C'est exactement les mêmes. Mais chez vous, Prabhupada a compris que quelqu'un a pris les chaussures. Krishna est dans le cœur de chaque personne. Et Krishna est en contact direct avec Krishna. Il est en fait la représentation de Krishna dans le cœur. Une autre anecdote aussi, un petit peu différente. C'était une promenade et Srila Prabhupada marchait et un dévot a vu que par terre, où Prabhupada allait marcher, il y avait un animal, un petit animal, un insecte, et que Prabhupada allait marcher dessus. Et il a vu Prabhupada marcher dessus et continuer, et l'herbe n'était pas courbée et l'animal était toujours là. Alors on a notre vision matérielle des choses. Lorsqu'on voit un Vrindavan, on voit un Vrindavan matériel, enfin, c'est transcendantal, mais en fait c'est le monde spirituel. On n'a pas la vision pour le voir. Et on n'a pas la vision pour voir certaines choses. Une autre anecdote à propos des chaussures, une dévote qui s'appelait Mère Aradia, qui était une dévote très sérieuse, qui a travaillé à Paris lorsqu'on était le temple commençait, et elle s'occupait de taper la Bhagavad Gita. À l'époque, on n'avait pas de livre. Il n'y avait rien en français, sauf un Isopanishad très mal traduit. Et il a fallu refaire toute la Bhagavad Gita, faire la Bhagavad Gita, la traduire, la taper. Et donc, elle a travaillé à Paris. Et après, à la Nouvelle Mayapur. Et elle était là-haut, à photocomposer les livres, taper pour imprimer les livres en français. Et lorsque Srila Prabhupada est venu, elle était en charge des chaussures. On va continuer dans les chaussures. Elle était en charge de s'occuper des chaussures de Srila Prabhupada. Alors maintenant, vous connaissez la Nouvelle Mayapur telle qu'elle est, comme la Bhagavad Gita telle qu'elle est, à l'heure actuelle, mais il y a 50 ans, la Nouvelle Mayapur, ce n'était pas ce que c'est maintenant. Il n'y avait pas de chauffage. Hein, c'était très austère. Hein. Les douches, on tirait sur une espèce de chaîne et on avait comme une lance d'eau glacée qui nous tombait dans le dos. Et même les toilettes, il n'y avait pas de séparation. Et on faisait notre travail et au-dessus c'était marqué Samsara. Et il y avait, quand on se promenait, il y avait des ornières partout, plein d'eau. Et donc Srila Prabhupada est venu et il a fait une marche. Alors naturellement, on voulait essayer d'entendre ce que Prabhupada disait. Il y avait des sannyasins autour qui faisaient une espèce de protection. Et il y avait de la boue partout. Quand on est rentré, on avait le dhoti éclaboussé, plein de boue, les chaussures pleines de boue. On avait beaucoup de mal à essayer d'être près de Srila Prabhupada. Et Aradia m'a dit que les chaussures de Prabhupada étaient complètement propres. Il n'y avait pas de boue, rien du tout. Alors, chacun peut faire ses conclusions comme il veut, mais c'est des choses qui sont quand même très très particulières, qui montrent qu'en fait le maître spirituel, bien que nous on le voit marcher sur la terre, en fait il n'est pas une personne de ce monde. Donc il y a beaucoup de divertissements comme ça, que on lit dans des écritures certaines choses et on n'a pas toujours les réalisations. Alors encore une anecdote en relation par rapport au 6e chant du Srimad Bhagavatam. Il est dit dans les Écritures que lorsqu'une personne quitte son corps, il y a l'histoire d'Ajamil. Ajamil est une personne qui était un dévot, qui a eu des difficultés dans sa vie spirituelle. Éventuellement, il a oublié la vie spirituelle. Mais il avait appelé son fils Narayan, et au moment de quitter son corps, il a crié Narayan. Et lorsqu'il a quitté son corps, les Yamadutas sont venus le chercher. C'est des entités qu'on ne voit pas, mais qui sont là, qui existent et qui nous emmènent éventuellement dans des planètes où on va souffrir de mauvaises activités, du résultat des mauvaises activités. Et les Vishnuitas viennent, eux, pour enlever les dévots. Et dans le cas de Mataji Aradia, elle a quitté son corps il y a une vingtaine d'années aux États-Unis. Et elle était allongée donc, dans une pièce. Et Krishna avait arrangé qu'il y avait un long week-end avec beaucoup de fêtes en même temps, qui fait que beaucoup de dévots étaient là. Il y avait une 50aine de personnes dans la pièce. Moi, j'étais situé près de sa tête. Dakshina était près de ses pieds du côté gauche. Une Mataji, mère Arakanta, qui était à ses pieds. Une autre dévote, Lakshmi, une dévote de Lituanie. Parmi 50 personnes dans la pièce. Et d'un seul coup, ça a duré pendant 3 jours, c'était très intense, tout le monde chantait. On ne se souvient pas d'avoir ni mangé ni dormi pendant 3 jours. Et éventuellement, elle a quitté son corps. Et immédiatement, tout le monde, 50 personnes, Jai, Haribol, il y avait comme une atmosphère extraordinaire, comme si les devas pleuvaient des fleurs. Et après avoir discuté avec Dakshina, avec mère Arakanta et mère Lakshmi, qui ne se sont pas concertés, Dakshina m'a décrit qu'elle a vu Aradia assise toute brillante. Alors elle était un petit peu dans un état second, parce que ça fait 3 jours qu'on ne chantait pas, qu'on ne dormait pas, et elle la voit allongée. Et elle s'est relevée, et elle l'a vu qui s'est levée. Mais mère Arakanta a carrément vu des personnes brillantes de chaque côté, qui la prenaient et qui l'emmenaient, et mère Lakshmi Mataji a vu la même chose. Donc ce qui est marqué dans les Écritures, ce n'est pas juste des contes ou des choses, c'est des choses que Krishna nous donne la vision, et on peut le voir. C'est des réalités. Et le dévot, lui, ne recherche pas la libération, il est déjà libéré. Il y a Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Beaucoup de gens, les yogis, essayent de se libérer et recherchent leur propre libération à eux. C'est une libération un peu égoïste. Tandis que le Vaishnava, Sarvadamram Paraja, Mamekam Saranam Vrara. Krishna dit, t'occupe pas, toutes les suites de tes fautes, moi je t'en affranchirai, n'aie nulle crainte. Donc le dévot, lui, il s'abandonne à Krishna, il laisse à Krishna le soin de s'occuper de lui. Mère Aradia était pas, elle m'avait dit, ça fait 10 ans que je n'ai pas raté un article à mes petites Murti. Elle chantait ses tours tous les jours, quelquefois à 6 heures, quelquefois à 7 heures, quelquefois à 8 heures. Mais simplement en faisant son service pour Krishna à travers les instructions de Srila Prabhupada. On n'a pas à s'occuper de rien d'autre. Et Krishna s'occupe de nous ramener dans le monde spirituel. Ça, c'est les enseignements de Srila Prabhupada, c'est le Bhakti Yoga. Une autre petite anecdote que je peux vous raconter pour montrer comment Krishna est dans le cœur et comprend qu'est-ce que veulent les dévots. Ça s'est passé à Paris, rue Le Sueur. On ne savait pas si Srila Prabhupada allait venir, s'il n'allait pas venir, s'il allait venir, s'il n'allait pas venir. Il était en Angleterre et finalement il est venu. C'était, je crois, en 74 peut-être. Et donc Srila Prabhupada finalement est venu au temple. Il n'y avait qu'une seule pièce au rez-de-chaussée. Et donc Srila Prabhupada était sur le Vyasasana à regarder les murtis. Et il y avait beaucoup de dévots dans la pièce et puis des sannyasis qui étaient là. Et en général, Srila Prabhupada, lorsqu'il fait une classe, ça dure une demi-heure. Ça ne dure pas 1 heure, 2 heures, comme ça dure en général une demi-heure, 35 minutes. Et donc Srila Prabhupada était dans la salle de temple à faire ses lectures et regarder les dévots, mais il ne me regardait pas. On a envie, quand on est quelque part, que quelqu'un vient visiter, qu'il nous regarde. Il ne me regardait pas pendant toute la lecture. Éventuellement, il y avait 2 portes pour entrer dans la salle de temple. Là, prendre une porte normale et une toute petite porte près des rideaux des murtis. Je sors le premier. Quand je vois que Prabhupada termine, peut-être que Srila Prabhupada était malade, il a fait un signe qu'il voulait quitter, peut-être après 10 minutes. Alors, normalement, la technique, c'est que les sannyasis font une haie pour que Srila Prabhupada puisse marcher, présenter ses hommages aux murtis et sortir. Moi, je pensais avoir beaucoup de temps, donc je sors par la petite porte, mais juste quand je sors, Prabhupada sort en même temps. Alors, Namaom Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale, Shamati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine, Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gora Vani Pacharine Nirvijasha Sunyavadi Pachyatale Jotavane. Et quand je relève la tête, Srila Prabhupada qui devait être malade, il avait décidé de quitter avant. Il a bloqué tout le monde derrière, personne ne pouvait sortir. Et je relève la tête et Srila Prabhupada m'a regardé. Il m'a complètement cloué au sol par son regard, encore maintenant. Et je me sentais complètement déshabillé, complètement nu. Il pouvait lire mon âme. Il m'a regardé longtemps. Il a fait un grand sourire, il a hoché la tête comme ça. Et il a continué, il est monté à son appartement. Donc Krishna, dans le cœur, pouvait savoir que je voulais que mon spirituel me regarde. Et encore maintenant, 50 ans après, je m'en souviens toujours. Donc le maître spirituel comme ça reprend la manifestation de Krishna dans le cœur qu'on ne peut pas voir. Et ils nous disent ce que Krishna nous dirait de faire. Et donc le maître spirituel est quelque chose de très très important. En fait, le verset le plus important de la Bhagavad Gita, c'est d'accepter un maître spirituel authentique. Et sans maître spirituel, on ne peut faire aucun progrès spirituel. Et donc, Srila Prabhupada nous a bénis par sa présence. On pourrait raconter. Personnellement, j'ai quelques expériences personnelles, mais tous les dévots initiés par Srila Prabhupada ont des anecdotes à raconter. Comment Krishna, après avoir quitté Prabhupada avoir quitté la planète, est venu visiter son dévot. Et si vous discutez avec certains dévots, c'est des choses qui sont un peu personnelles, quelquefois un peu intimes, quelquefois les dévots ne veulent pas le partager. Mais le maître spirituel, comme chez le Prabhupada, 100 ans après, il est toujours là, 200 ans, il va être là pour guider les dévots de Krishna, guider les gens sur toute la terre. Le Vaishnav, contrairement au Karmi, n'a pas de haine envers les autres. En général, comme par exemple, les Français et les Algériens ont un problème parce que à cause de la colonie, et on transmet depuis des dizaines et des dizaines d'années une haine à cause des colonies. Lorsqu'il Prabhupada est arrivé en Angleterre, qu'est-ce qu'il a fait? Il a dit, je suis venu vous ramener une chose que vous avez oublié de voler à l'Inde. Je suis venu vous donner la connaissance spirituelle. Un peu comme une histoire d'un très grand auteur français, Victor Hugo, qui a écrit une histoire qui s'appelle Les Misérables. Et Jean Valjean, qui est un bagnard qui s'est échappé, reçoit le loger pour dormir et manger chez un curé. Mais pendant la nuit, il ne peut pas s'empêcher de voler les assiettes en argent. Et dans la journée, des gendarmes, la maréchaussée, le trouvent et reconnaissent que ce sont des plats qui appartiennent à l'église. Et donc, ils vont voir le prêtre, ils disent, il y a cette personne qui vous a volé les choses. Et qu'est-ce que dit le prêtre? Il dit, ah, mais je lui avais dit de prendre les chandeliers aussi, il a oublié de prendre les chandeliers, mais prends les chandeliers aussi. Et ça, c'est le Vaishnav. Le Vaishnav, les gens ont volé l'Inde, les Anglais ont volé l'Inde, mais vous avez oublié quelque chose. Le dévot comprend que lorsqu'une personne agit mal, c'est pas mal intentionné, c'est parce qu'il est conditionné par les 3 gunas. Il ne peut pas s'empêcher d'obéir à sa nature. Et donc Srila Prabhupada est venu, malgré tous les torts que les Anglais ont fait en Inde, en pillant les temples, en volant. Vous avez oublié quelque chose, la connaissance spirituelle, et il est venu donner cette connaissance spirituelle. Ça, c'est le Vaishnava. Le Vaishnava n'en veut pas personnellement lorsque des personnes font quelque chose de mauvais. Des personnes ont fait des choses qui n'étaient pas toujours correctes avec Srila Prabhupada, mais jamais il a toujours gardé cette position transcendantale. Ça, c'est un exemple qu'on doit avoir. Le dévot sait qu'il n'est pas le contrôleur, que Krishna manipule toute cette création, et ce n'est pas à nous de décider si cette personne va devenir dévote ou ne va pas devenir dévote. On distribue gratuitement, sans discriminer, cette connaissance spirituelle que a donnée le Seigneur Chaitanya. Une petite anecdote encore, et après je vais peut-être laisser d'autres personnes qui veulent peut-être parler. C'est une anecdote de Sankirtan qui montre comment on ne doit pas discriminer qui va prendre et qui ne va pas prendre. À l'époque de Sankirtan, ce n'était pas de Sankirtan dans les rues, on allait de porte à porte. Et on essaye à chaque porte de donner quelque chose de Krishna. Et c'était dans Paris, et j'arrive à une porte, c'était une boucherie. On n'a pas envie de rentrer dans une boucherie. L'atmosphère de la boucherie est vraiment différente de l'atmosphère d'une boulangerie. Quand on passe devant une boulangerie, il y a des gâteaux, il y a des choses jolies sur la vitrine. La boulangerie. On ne se rend pas compte maintenant qu'est-ce que c'est qu'une boucherie, parce que maintenant les gens achètent de la viande tout emballée dans les supermarchés. Mais avant, il y avait des magasins, comme des boulangeries, il y avait des boucheries. Et la boucherie, il y a une atmosphère vraiment différente. Quand on passe devant la boucherie, ça sent bon, les gens qui sont là sont assez joyeux et tout. Dans la boucherie, les gens, d'abord il fait froid dans la boucherie, il y a des murs en carrelage avec de la condensation dessus, et puis il y a des carcasses de viande qui sont accrochées, et puis le boucher, il est toujours actif en train de hacher quelque chose, de taper quelque chose, je ne sais pas si vous avez déjà vu ça. Et quelquefois, ils ont des espèces de vaisseaux sanguins, on le voit un peu comme si le sang qui touche leur remontait jusqu'au visage. Alors, en Sankirtan, par acquis de conscience, j'essaye quand même de rentrer, mais je n'ai pas envie de rentrer. Alors, il y avait beaucoup de gens dans cette boucherie. Bonjour, je suis venu pour vous apporter un livre qui explique pourquoi il ne faut pas manger de viande. En Doti, le crâne rasé, il faut voir la situation. Mais en fait, ils sont tellement dans leur mental et tellement qu'ils n'ont rien compris de ce que je disais. Et le mari dit à sa femme, « Hé, donne-lui quelque chose à ce petit-là !» Alors je rentre, je donne une Bhagavad Gita, il me donne 50 francs, et il fait tomber un morceau de viande sur ma main. « Ah, merci, vous êtes très gentil !» Alors, mais regarde comme il est maigrichon, ce petit, coupe-lui quelques tranches de jambon. Coupe quelques tranches de jambon, le met dans mon sac. Et attends, il me met un grand saucisson dans le sac. Merci, je suis reparti. Je voulais en fait rien donner à cette personne, mais Agatha Sukriti. Cette personne, d'une manière inconsciente, avec ses limites, il a pu faire quelque chose pour Krishna. Alors bien sûr, tous ces cadeaux qu'il m'a donnés, j'ai trouvé des chiens derrière à qui je les donné. Mais on peut voir, c'est pas à nous de décider. Lui, il est compétent pour accepter Krishna et lui, pas compétent. Simplement, on distribue librement et Krishna décide. Voilà. Et Srila Prabhupada est expert, comme ça, à engager tout le monde, chacun selon les différentes situations. Quelquefois, lors d'une promenade à Bombay, par exemple, tous les jours, il y avait une personne qui rencontrait et disait bonjour, et puis continuait la route. Un jour, les deux lui dit mais pourquoi vous lui dites pas Hare Krishna? Il dit cette personne ne m'a pas accepté comme maître spirituel. Et il va être fâché. Mais simplement, le fait de dire bonjour. Donc on ne doit pas être fanatique. Simplement, le temps et les circonstances, elle est expert à rendre les gens favorables à Krishna. D'une manière intelligente. Et Srila Prabhupada, avec sa grande expertise, nous a éduqués et on est devenu un petit peu éduqués, nous les occidentaux, sans beaucoup de connaissances. Et ce jour de disparition de Srila Prabhupada, je me souviens comme ça beaucoup de choses personnelles, des expériences incroyables et je réalise combien fortuné que je suis. Je ne comprends pas encore pourquoi sur les millions de gens sur la planète, j'ai pu avoir cette miséricorde de pouvoir rencontrer Prabhupada et d'être initié par Srila Prabhupada et 50 ans après encore pouvoir être ici. Je vous remercie pour Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada, Hare Krishna.
After several days, Prabhupada not eating or drinking, Tamal Krishna tried again, but gently. You don't want to drink anything today? Srila Prabhupada replied. Let me drink Harinam Amiyabila. Chanting the holy name is my only pastime. Jai Srila Prabhupada said Harinam is the sweetest nectar. Prabhupada quoted, this is Bhavoshita, Hare Kirtan. Sri Advaita completed the verse, Bhavoshita, Chatra Manovirama. And Charnamrita, diet. Diet and medicine. Let me depend on these. Although he was fasting, Sri Prabhupada inquired about the prasadam being served for the devotees. Now 100 or more expert devotees were at the temple, and more were expected. This time, what did they supply? Asked Prabhupada. What they supply? Said Lord Krishna. Do you mean prasadam? Of course, today is the day of Ekadashi, after Ekadashi. So they have some cereal made with gur and some fruit salad made with guavas and bananas. That was all this morning. Lunch is usually substantial, very good. This is the best prasadam we have had in many years in India. The cook, Ayoja Pati, is doing very nicely. Do you want to know what he cooks for lunch? Prabhupada nodded slightly. He cooks an aloo sabji, potato, with dal sauce, Krishna continued, and he makes bindi, very nicely spiced, and dal, roti, rice, apple chutney, and dahi raita every day. Prabhupada asked to assist Ayoja Pati. He didn't want any hired cooks. Only devotees are cooking, said Krishna, and it is very tasteful. And everybody, about 125 devotees, sit together and take prasadam. And the guests from the guest house also take. Everyone takes together. Prabhupada smiling. Everybody liked? Yes, oh yes, was the combined reply of the devotees in the room. They all crowded close around Prabhupada's bed. That's nice, said Prabhupada. You are the perfect father, Srila Prabhupada, said one of the devotees. You provide everything for us. A place to live, food to eat, everything. And you've trained us in spiritual knowledge. Prabhupada uttered one with deep sounds. Then he asked, or said, chant all together. And the assembled devotees gladly began the kirtan. Prabhupada
Jai.
So, you want to express himself a little now from Prabhupada, maybe our servant leaders.
No ladies who want to speak? No ladies want to speak? Normally we have men, ladies, like that. There's always ladies feeling left out.
Mataji, Varangi, you want to speak, to express yourself to Prabhupada?
Yes.
Okay.
We're getting in trouble with that.
There's half an hour now.
No, we've got an hour left. 11:30.
I'll speak in English so everybody understands. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi. Go and Prashadi. So of course I'm grateful to have been initiated by one of your dear disciples, but I've been thinking a lot about you the past month because I'm reading a lot the Lilamritas. There's so many books about you, about your life and teachings, and we are very fortunate because most of them they're all in English. So anyway, sometimes I tell the Christians, imagine the Christians if they had all books about the life of Jesus Christ, how happy we would be, what he did, where he was born and everything. So we know so much about Prabhupada, the videos, recordings. So, we are fortunate. This technology sometimes it's a headache, but also it can be. I speak too fast, okay. I will speak slowly. I'm always complaining I don't understand. Okay, I'll say it again. So we are feel very fortunate that with this technology we can have access to Prabhupada so many ways, so many books written by his direct disciples. Spent much time with them. And then we have the videos, we have the recordings. So it's unlimited, and so I'm taking advantage, and I really appreciate this opportunity to be with Prabhupada because I feel some spiritual energy and coming from him and conviction because I don't have no realization of Krishna, and because I believe in Krishna because of you, because my realization are really poor. So he's our link, he's my link, because through my spiritual life, of course. So we are fortunate to have to be guided by Srila Prabhupada. Of course, ISKCON sometimes there's some problems with the material world, and I listened to a lot of one of your disciples, Mahatma Prabhu, whom I know personally. Mahatma Prabhu, he's got lots of wisdom, but he's got some books and wisdom of the sages. So we have your disciples, and some don't always represent you. And even he was giving a talk about how sometimes we can use Prabhupada quotes to go against his instruction. I mean, it's a tricky thing. Or we can just use one quote and dismiss all the rest. So that's why we need the guidance of your dear disciples. Definitely, especially those who spend time with you, because not only because they know your mood, because to understand your mood it's not easy always all the time. There's some things seem obvious. So anyway, that's my pleasure to read about you almost every day, First thing in the morning, reading about Prabhupada. That's a good way to start the day. And also, I like to distribute books. because I don't have many opportunities, but I distribute this booklet, this little booklet, Prabhupada, in French, you know. It's really a nice one to give, you know, because it's about Prabhupada. It's small, you know, they don't have to pay for it. And I'm sure it can touch the heart of the people who read it, you know, because it describes Prabhupada. Amazing accomplishments, you know, what he did at 70 years old. You know, I'm going to be 77, and I can understand how when you're old it's not easy. And Prabhupada, he started this movement when he was very old. So anyway, I give it to my dentist, I give it to the doctor, everywhere, you know. So I encourage you to give something about Prabhupada, and of course invite them to come here. And so Srila Prabhupada, thank you very much. Without you, I would be really going to the royal road to hell. That is where I was heading. So you saved me from a very dark place, and of course I'm not there yet, I'm not qualified, but you know, with your blessing, I hope maybe get closer to Krishna in the spiritual world. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada. And I encourage everybody to take some of these and give them, you know, hey, somebody extraordinary, read about him, you know. And you don't have to be a big preacher. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Just carry on because trying to make sure more devotees are arriving, so we know.
Okay, Hare Jai. Prabhupada ki Jai. Mother Shesha, maybe you want to say some, express something? It's a good excuse, yes. So, let's show you something. Okay.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, today in the class, Maharaj was talking about how we can feel your presence, and there's different points how we can feel your presence, and one of the points was that we can feel your presence by associating with devotees, especially senior devotees. Now we're sitting here all together, and it's really very much brings realization, because on the class time we're hearing theories, and your books we're hearing your philosophy about Krishna consciousness. But when we are in the presence of meeting like this, of Vaishnavas, and especially when the main topics is about you, Srila Prabhupada, is really very much brings this feeling of your presence. So this is my realization from this morning. Thank you very much for the Srila Prabhupada. And one of your instructions here in New Mayapur was that we should be self-sufficient on our food, and we should do cow protection. So by mercy of my spiritual master, and by the mercy that is following nicely in your instructions, you gave me this responsibility to do cow protection here in New Mayapur. And now we have 4 milking cows, We have 2 working oxen, we have 2 training oxen and 1 heifer. So our cow's herd is growing and Krishna getting fresh milk every day. We grow some vegetables as well. We harvested around 500 kilograms of potato, around 300 of pumpkins. There was a lot of flowers in the summer, grown by Jaladuta Prabhu. We grow a lot of tomatoes. First year since I'm in New Mayapur, we grow some turnip. We harvesting already, and today cooks will prepare them for your feast. And of course some other vegetables like kohlrabi. They was grown at least in my presence first times. So little by little we trying to be more self-sufficient in this field. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada, and please don't allow me to faint from your teachings. Please keep me very strict on the path of your teachings without speculations and without any mess. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
It was actually in London, Prabhupada said on his last trip there that his last desire, practically speaking, was to establish the Varnashram. He was talking in the car in his room all the time about cow protection, self-sufficiency, farming, and so on. It was a very important project, very important program in our movement. Something very dear to Prabhupada, which he conceived to be an essential feature of becoming Krishna conscious and also preaching Krishna consciousness. To please Krishna most by looking after his cows and bulls and so on. So important to remember Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Just give the mic to the speaker because some people don't hear well. I'm asking him to give the mic to the speaker. The ears are not good, you know. The loudspeaker are not loud.
You've got a tail hanging down there. Don't fall over your tail.
We're killing some dirty lessons.
I'm always scared. Actually, it's the best thing to glorify you, but anyway, makes me scared to speak in front of everyone. I want to thank you for everything you did. Taking the boat, coming to the West alone in 65, and you were already in your 70, and every year I'm getting older and I see how it's more hard to travel, so I cannot imagine. when we were young, we didn't realize actually what it was. I mean, we appreciated, but I know that now we all getting old, we appreciate you much, much more. Because it's not easy to move, it's not easy to travel, especially when you're old. And you did it, you came alone to New York in '65, not knowing anyone. It's amazing. You will send me somewhere where I don't know anyone, I will cry. I won't go actually. I won't go. If someone is, I know someone at least, but if I don't know anyone, I won't go. And yeah, you came because you wanted to do what your guru said, and you wanted to give everyone this amazing gift of the Mahamantra. And all what you did in so short years, it's unbelievable. When we look at it, all the center which open, all the temple, all the deity worship, everything, it's amazing. I'm amazed. And today I want to thank you because day before yesterday, it's not yesterday, it's day before yesterday, I had a very nice experience, something I was fearing for years, really fearing. I'm still afraid. But to see someone leaving his body, and but actually by what you taught us, it was a very, very nice experience. It was, I didn't even cry. I mean, I'm not proud, I didn't cry. It was so nice to be with other devotees, surrounding the devotee and chanting the Mahamantra until her last breath. It was wonderful actually. I came out of it and I was elated. I feel great. It was one more lesson and one more blessing of you that we can be with each other until the end and help each other. And I think personally, what I like the most about what you gave us is the association of devotees. It's something so strong and so different that people who don't have that, it's hard to explain, but we have like a big family supporting and trying to become better. Everyone is trying to become better, following your instruction. And all those months, it was really hard for me to see Yamuna, really hard. Each time I saw her, I was seeing death. And actually, I was not going to her place because it was too difficult. It was too difficult because it's hard to see death just right in front of you. But actually when she died, I had the mercy to be there when she breathed the last, and it was nice. We were all singing and I don't know, it gave us special courage, something, anyway. And it's all due to you. It's all due to you. And that all those people around the bed, they were all friends, and everyone together helping the other one. And the only way to help her was to chant the Mahamantra. And you're the one who gave us the Mahamantra, so I'm really indebted to you. I'm indebted to you for all the devotees, all that family around the world, and especially here, the family of New Mayapur. And for everything, I want to thank you for New Mayapur, for Vrindavan, for the Kirtan, for the deities, for for so many things, for the books. Well, I'm not a big fan of the books, but I know the books are there. And I read sometimes. I should read more. I read yesterday night, but you gave us all that for free. Like I read something from Kanamba Swami not long time ago, and he was saying that this movement is generous. It's about generosity. All the food which is served around, all the books, all when we go in Arenam in the street and we chant for everyone benefit, all that, and he said it's about generosity. So you have been the most generous person, I think, since a very long time, maybe since the Christ you have been, and I pray that your glory and all what you did will still be very well known in 2000 years. And yeah, it's, I don't know, there are so many things to say about you. Amazing things. Like, you made Indian take initiation from white guru in India. Like Jayapataka Swami has thousands of disciples, villages, and these American, and Radhanath Swami also, so many disciples, mostly Indian, and it's so amazing, strange. It's like everything upside down, because it's white body people giving diksha to Indian body people. Anyway, all those things, when I start to sing, it's amazing. It's amazing. Even to introduce deity worship everywhere in the world. To start temple and to tell us to become self-sufficient 50 years ago, because you know that it's the best way to be independent from the society. And yeah, simple living, high thinking, that was your mantra, and we're still trying. But I thank you for that. I thank you for everything, and I hope to be worth of you. It's not, I mean, I don't understand I'm your disciple, because I was not looking east or nothing like that, or even for God. And it's hard not to be one of your disciples and everyone is looking at you because you're Prabhupada disciple. It's not, anyways, it's a challenge. I guess it's a good challenge. I hope I will be a better example. Yeah, I pray to become a better representative of you. Please give me taste in my japa. Please give me taste for reading. And please give me taste to be more serious. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Krishna Padaya, Krishna Prastaya Vitale, Shante Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasatya Desakarami. Dear Srila Prabhupada, thank you so much for giving us this wonderful opportunity that we all can be together in your glorification. Very special day for all of us, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We're extremely grateful for what you have given us this year ISKCON society. We are indebted to you for lifetimes. Makes me emotional, cannot speak when I think about all the gifts you gave us, all the jewels that we are not qualified to receive, but it's your causeless mercy. Mana Brahmite Kone Bhagavan Jina Jiva Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. We have taken many births, but with the mercy of your ISKCON society, we come in contact with the Vaishnavas. It's our I'm sorry. Thank you for giving us this holy Dham. We all can come together and glorify Radha Govinda Madhava Krishna Balan Gauranitai. I have a lot of defects, Prabhupada. I'm praying to you every day. I can be a better devotee. I can be a better disciple of my Guru. Externally, I look like a Vaishnava. I put tilak, I put kantimala. Sometimes I don't behave like that. This year was quite challenging. I had quite few internal challenges. I ended up blaming everybody except myself. I could see where my consciousness is. Instead of being grateful, I'm a great fool. I pray to you every day that what you want me to do to internally purify myself, I can be a better devotee, better disciple of my Guru, better Vaishnava. My only hope is your mercy, your society you have given us. Years of New Mayapur festival was very special. Devotees worked hard. Devotees tried to outreach. Thanks to Gopaswami Prabhu for making this festival very special. Thanks to Sikshastakam Prabhu for making Bhakti Charu Maharaj shares being transferred, one of the historic things. Thank you, Prabhupada, for keeping Govinda with us, in good health.
every day pray to your lotus feet how I can serve the Vaishnavas better instead of fault finding my failure every day. I see the Vaishnavas. I spend time with Jananand Maharaj, Radhanath Maharaj. They only want to love Vaishnavas. They only criticize Vaishnavas. Thank you for sending all your empowered disciples to New Mayapur. Sir Charged us how we can serve the deities better here, how we can serve the temple better, how we can be together. Sorry, I cannot speak in Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhupada ki jai, Hare.
Sataji wants to say something also. Nice, huh? We started very few and more are coming. Glorifications are there.
Let's use the mic, I'm sorry.
I couldn't hear you.
Alright, hey boy. You want to say? Express something to Prabhupada?
Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sundaradi Prashachari Shatarini Omagyan Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. So I did not prepare anything, but while listening to the Vaishnavas, I took some notes of things that inspired me. So this morning Maharaj was asking, how can we remember, how can we serve Srila Prabhupada? And for me, the first thing that came into mind, which I said, was Srila Prabhupada's voice. I remember when I used to live here in New Mayapur every morning, Madan Mahameda used to wake us up so gently for Mongol Arati by putting Srila Prabhupada. And just listening to Srila Prabhupada's voice was the, and still is, the absolute shelter. For me, it's equal to the chanting of the holy name. Just listening to Srila Prabhupada's kirtan, it's completely out of this world. It totally transports one to completely transcendental. I don't know what the transcendental world is, but I know Srila Prabhupada's transcendental world in his voice. And it happened several times when I was in a very difficult place, like not too long ago, like very intense bereavement, a loss. And I was with it all the time, and it was very difficult. And so I was putting Srila Prabhupada practically all the time, and it really pacified me, calmed me, gave me the absolute shelter I needed. And as soon as Prabhupada's CD was stopping, immediately I would panic, bereavement coming back up, and then quickly putting Srila Prabhupada's voice again, and then finding shelter there. So thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for your voice, which is in the kirtans, which is completely absorbed in the spiritual world. You give us the spiritual world through your voice, through your singing, through your harikatha. And every year hearing Srila Prabhupada's how he came to the West and the amazing task, the amazing feat that he did, I never get tired of it. I can hear it again and again and again, how it's just absolutely incredible what he did to come into the Western world. And I read in the Prabhupada Lamrita how when he first arrived, he used to go to the bus stop, hop on the bus, sit in the bus, and go from one terminus to the other, back and forth, on the bus in New York, Boston, I think it was. And he was just observing Western people, their behavior, how they are, especially in those days, and the hippie movement, men-women equality, etc., and just the way they were. Completely different. Srila Prabhupada left Srila in his little room. He left, actually, this is the ultimate sacrifice. Who doesn't want to be in Srila in his room in Radha Damodar, at the feet of Rupa Sanatan, Radha Damodar? So nice, just chanting, and that he had the mission, the instruction of his spiritual master, and he sacrificed everything to come. And there he was on the bus looking at us. And he gave the right amount of medicine, exactly. He knew how to conquer the Western world. Who could have done this? No one. Why didn't anybody come and help Srila Prabhupada? Because he was meant to get the glory. He's the one who fulfilled the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is that the holy name will be spread all over the world, in every town and village. And who did this? Srila Prabhupada. Who hasn't heard Hare Krishna? And Srila Prabhupada also, his humility, how he gave credit to his spiritual master always. And he said all his amazing disciples who joined him and did incredible miracles because they had full faith in Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, go to China, go there, go make me an appointment with the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. And they said, yes, Prabhupada. And they believed they could do it, and they did it because of absolute faith. And Srila Prabhupada said, my spiritual master brought you to me to help me. And Prabhupada cried, he had tears, his voice was choked in so much gratitude. So actually he's the embodiment of humility, the embodiment of sacrifice, and his tolerance as well. Like this verse, Tunala Pisunichina, more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. So his tolerance, he tolerated so much, is just ignorance really. And like Jesus said, please forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. So struggling children, and Srila Prabhupada is so forgiving still. So today I pray to Srila Prabhupada to forgive my ignorance and my lack of education, my lack of Vaishnava etiquette, my lack of just simple human education. Please forgive me and always engage me in his lotus feet. And also, Srila Prabhupada, normally we need to accumulate lots and lots of sukriti to be able to come and take shelter at the lotus feet of an authentic spiritual master. And Srila Prabhupada said, you have no sukriti, I created, so he created our sukriti. And then also, I think it was Brahmananda Swami, he said, Srila Prabhupada, I want to be with you, I want to follow you wherever you go. And Srila Prabhupada said, my next destination is Patala Loka. And Maharaj was speaking in the class today about the importance, he was reading about a passage actually of Srila Prabhupada, the importance, how everything depends on faith and taking shelter of the spiritual master. That's the only way through to the chanting of the holy name, through Krishna, to understanding the scriptures, is to fully surrender and get the mercy and hold on to the duty of the spiritual master Srila Prabhupada. And like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I reward you according to one's surrender. So in the same way, Srila Prabhupada is still here, and he will reciprocate according to how much effort we put into remembering him, worshipping him every day, listening to him, and really always keeping his instruction. That's how he will reciprocate. He will reciprocate. But it's not up to, it's like, now it's Kartik month, so it's two fingers. One is the effort and the other one is surrender. No, it's mercy. Unconditional mercy. And so, how do we get this unconditional mercy? We have to put the effort. So all the different ways to serve Srila Prabhupada, to remember. Let's see. Oh yes, Maharaj was talking about all these different sayings that Srila Prabhupada gave us, and sometimes there's so much and they're so simple, like simple living, high thinking, peace of mind, and also purity is the force. There's so much in there. Books are the basis. What else is it? Purity is the force.
Preaching is the essence.
Preaching is the essence.
Utility is the principle.
Utility is the principle. That's it. So much. The whole class could be given on each one. And also, Pitavas Prabhu was talking about Srila Prabhupada's shoes and his lotus feet, and in Yamuna Devi's memories of Srila Prabhupada, her offering to Srila Prabhupada, she was saying that she was following Srila Prabhupada. There's beautiful photos that Gurudas Prabhu took whilst Jamuna was just walking with Srila Prabhupada early morning in John Lennon's estate, and Yoko had places in the fields where she had to mow the lawn because she wanted the high grass, and Srila Prabhupada was walking through this high grass, and she noticed that the grass wasn't on the floor. There was no trace. Obviously, if early morning there's high grass, wet, you come back soaking wet, and you leave a trail behind you. And she said there was no trail, and Prabhupada was dry. And she said, how do you do that, Prabhupada? And Srila Prabhupada said, you will understand when you advance in Krishna consciousness. I will tell you. Jai Srila Prabhupada. And last thing is that he built a house in which the whole world can live. Haribol.
So you see, it's difficult to build a house in Mayapur. Probably build a house.
Difficult to build a house for anyone to live in, is that what you said? Difficult to build a house for anyone to live in. Yeah, the whole world. That's a different understanding.
Pujari vont bientôt amener le bain pour la bichette ici. Et il reste encore 5-10 minutes. Peut-être que vous avez envie de dire, mais ça serait bien si c'était une phrase la plus importante pour vous que vous puissiez dire à Prabhupada maintenant. Voilà.
Merci. Merci infiniment.
Jai. Okay. One. Another one.
La Prabhupada qui
Jai.
Gardez-nous toujours dans ce
Assis ou debout, comme vous voulez. Robert. Moi, je peux dire le nom.
Deux.
Ah ouais, non, c'est pas assez. Attendez, regarde, je vais parce que...
Non, vous dites toujours des belles choses, mais on n'entend pas alors.
I think so, just the mic now. We should take on it.
Merci, Srila Prabhupada, et garde-moi toujours dans l'association du Vaishnava. C'est tout. Est-ce que tu
C'est bien. Vishnujan.